There you go.
Hey,
Here.
it didn't want to come up. I'm like clicking it. I'm like, and now I try to click it soft, so I'm not overdoing it, having it doing too much. So I was trying to click it soft, but it still wasn't trying to let me on this screen tonight. But hey, everybody, how are you guys doing tonight? Listen, I'm so excited to be here with you guys, and welcome to It's the Meetup Talk Show. We're so excited to have you on this night, this Thursday night, where we meet up and listen, we talk all types of stuff. Tonight's episode is surfaced around pushing. So we're just gonna get right on into this thing. So here we go.
As always, here are the housekeeping rules. One, don't keep tonight to yourself. Share. You can share it from YouTube, and like I do, I send it out every Thursday from YouTube for my people who don't have Facebook. I copy the link and I send it send it to people's text message. Just click. But yeah, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with anybody you feel could benefit from being a part of our tribe. Two, we want to hear from you. Interact and comment, and we'll talk back. And also, three, get your favorite snack or beverage or both, and just relax and enjoy the show.
Another thing we like to do here at the meetup is listen, we don't want you, like she said, to keep the show to yourself. So we want you to be our hype crew. We want you to hype us up. Let everybody know that this show comes on every Thursday night. Listen, every Thursday night we're meeting up with you guys. And so if you know anybody that fit any one of these descriptions that's on the screen right now, we need you to tag them in right now in the comments, as well as in the comments right now. We want you, whether you watching a whether you're going to watch the replay or you're watching right now with us, go ahead, join us live, and put in the comments where you're from, who are you, where you're from, and then also tag these people in, so that way we can build this community that we're trying to build. So just a reminder, if they're 25 to 40, a mom, married, single, a boss, an entrepreneur in leadership, inspiring to be in leadership, in need of a tribe, in need of a safe space, an introvert, an extrovert, an opportunity to connect. Even if you are a man and you identify as any one of these descriptions, listen, tag them all into here so we can build this community up. And don't forget to follow us as well.
So, every week, something else we do is we check in. We check in on our strong friends. So, you don't forget to do that at home, but also you can also check in the comments. So if you have something going on with you that you like to share, you can check in the comments. Tell us what's up. Tell us what's going on with you, good or bad, or something that you might need some input on. Um, we'll be happy to be a part of your tribe and check in with you. As for me, I don't have much. As over the last 2 weeks, like I said, I started a new job, so this is my first full week working from home, and I don't have any complaints besides I can't stop eating. um, I'm just trying to find my flow with like dropping the kids off in the morning and things that I might want to do, like work out or whatever the case may be. Just still trying to find my flow. So, um, I think that's all I have for my check-in. What about you?
So for my check-in, I literally had to have like a girl pull yourself together moment. I think it was like Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. And just realizing where I'm at in life. But it also drove me to remember, like, every season you need like a new set of affirmations, right? Like you can't keep fueling yourself off of the same affirmations that you had in the last season. And so I had came up with my like I choose affirmations just to remind me of where I'm at in this season. It wasn't by chance, it wasn't random for where I'm at in this season. And so I think ultimately that's kind of where my check-in lies, and just really like understanding like the power in affirmation, the understanding like the power of just recognizing like who you are. Like, baby, this is them things you was thinking they were lies. Like, you are this, you basically being able to counteract what those affirmations, that those lies basically that you were telling yourself. Are you an affirmation type of person? Or you remember, I don't know if you were ever into the show Being Mary Jane, like remember she
Yeah,
had
she
like
had
the
all
sticky
the
notes.
sticky notes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Peggy.
Hey
Yeah.
Peggy, were you in?
As far as affirmations, I'm I am very much into them, and speaking positivity over myself. But I feel like I need to be into them more, and also be an example to my daughter, as far as speaking positive affirmations to herself daily. So that's something to put on my list to work on.
Yeah, that's good. That is good.
Yeah.
Because it really does help push you like forward. Like, after I start thinking like, girl, why are you thinking like this? Like, you tend to be a very optimistic person. So why are you allowing these things to come in? And I had to remember, like, no, like, when the last time you affirmed yourself? Like, when the last time you reminded yourself of who you are? Listen.
I was
Basically. So yeah.
into that the the real, I don't know who song it is, but it's on Instagram, and it's one of the real songs, like "Don't Forget Who You Are." It'd be like, "Don't forget who you are." I can't sing, but
Oh
I always
yeah.
think of that when I'm talking to my daughter about stuff like that. And I also have I put a picture, like a frame with a saying from this store called At Home, and it says, "Don't forget who you are." Like, so I see that every day, like, and I put it in my bathroom. I
I
know
like
my
that.
husband spent a lot of time in there. That seems to be where men just get their peace. But for me, it's just like, a place, you go first thing in the morning and you see that. So maybe I'll start being
Right.
like Lily Jane
And
and
just
posting
the
them on my bathroom mirror too.
just the,
Yeah, the sticky notes.
yeah, just the no, I think it's
Yeah,
definitely needed.
yeah. So
Um,
um
so we
last
just got
week
to
we
remember
talked
who we
about,
are and why.
yeah. Last week we talked about momish, which is my thing. So this week we're going to talk about Save Mom Life. So do you what is Save Mom Life? Oh wait, I want to say no. Wait, I'm going to type the website.
All right. So,
I'm gonna type the website in the comments, because I want y'all to go see how fly Julia look on her website. Okay, I was like, okay, Superwoman, looking good. Okay, so I'm gonna type it in the comments, and y'all go check that out while she's telling us about
girl.
it.
So it's so funny because like when the vision for like the meetup came based in, like, I told y'all how we did this and how the names came and we moved forward with it. Like, to hear Rhea last week talk about like mom-ish, and then to see how much like they align in terms of like how important community is and so forth, and then it reminded me of like a Mary and Elizabeth, like like growing inside of me, and encounter with the thing that was growing inside of you. Cool. So Save Mom Life
All right.
is my organization where we believe that we're changing the way we mommy forever, and that is through us being able to mommy together. Now, when I became a mom for the first time, y'all, like when I first became a mom, it was so hard for me and I struggled so much and I kept feeling like, okay, where's the help at? Like who can help me? Like cuz I'm looking for stuff, I'm applying for stuff and because I have a job, I don't so just trying to figure out like, okay, where am I going to get this help from? And so at that point I was like, you know what? I want to be able to create something so when if a woman becomes a mom, she has a resource, she has some help, she has a safe place, just like what we do here on the show. And that was when the vision first birthed for Save Mom Life. Now the physical station of Save Mom Life didn't come into place until 2019. And in 2019, that's when I actually birthed this hashtag Save Mom Life. You are a woman with purpose book. And when I birthed this book, y'all, when I tell y'all, it took me 3 years to write this book, mainly because I was still going through some stuff that I put in this book. But the purpose of this book woman that reads this book, actually, because it's an interactive book. Anybody that comes encounter with this book, they will be able to walk away with being able to know their identity here on earth. As be able to be from stuff that they've been holding on to, be delivered from some stuff, and then also be able to walk away with purpose. Because I feel like I've said it before and we talked about it before, like when you ask somebody like how you doing and they're like, man, I'm just living, like, like I want people to really understand, like, no, like we've been placed on this earth for a purpose. It's a reason and stuff that we're supposed to do. And I think a lot of times with moms we would feel like because we had our kids, our life stopped and we have to live through our kids or our kids' life begins, type of thing. And it's like, no, we all have, you still have a purpose. Like you still have vision, you still can build. And I wanted women to see that. So if you go to the website right now, you can see where you can purchase my products as well as I offer events. The events that we have done with Save Mom Life so far is the Mommy and Me Fitness. We've done the I Push Conference. We've also offered the I Push courses, as well as the Mommy and Me cooking. Going into this year, we're going to do 2 events this year. It's going to be the Mommy and Me Fitness as well as the I Push Conference. Um, but yeah, that's basically what Save Mom Life is right now. Right now, the website will be updated. I don't know if I'm gonna still have these pictures on there, but it is going to be
Why not?
updated to really to really be able to give like the more services section and more resources, because I want, and you guys, if you guys want to advertise your business on there, just reach out to me. You can subscribe to the Save Mom Life page, send me an email, because I want to be to also offer resources so where a mom can go click on resource tab and be able to find whatever resource they need at the time,
Mhm.
So yeah, that is Save My Life. It actually allowed me to, like, when I said about the push conference, it allowed me to be able to really like understand how powerful it is to give birth to your vision, because a lot of times people want us to feel like we can't do it, or we tell ourselves that we can't do it. Because I was that mom, I'm gonna be honest with you. I will be on Facebook, because it really wasn't Instagram back then, but I'll be on Facebook and I'll be seeing all these people seeing where they are and doing little stuff, and I'm like, man, I wish I could do that, and I'm thinking like it's so far-fetched, I couldn't attain it until I got to a point where I was like, no, like No, you absolutely can work towards this. You actually can do it with what you have. You can actually push forward. You can let it grow. And when I think about like the pushing, which we're gonna go into right now, we'll go into pushing. Our Let's Talk topic about is literally I push so different from us giving birth, to our children. Like when I think about pushing, I think about, you know, a baby. Like our baby inside of us, it starts off as what, a little fetus, and it starts to like grow until it gets to a point where it's into the atmosphere. I think that's also what happens for our visions. It starts off as a little fetus, like a dream. Like Rhea says, she a dreamer. It starts off like a little dream, and then it starts to grow. So the dream becomes, okay, after my dream, I want to start researching what I'm doing. So then it starts maturing, it starts to grow until it gets to a point where we push it out into the atmosphere and it be what it is. And so yeah. So what do you think about pushing vision? How do you view
What
it?
I think about what pushing a vision. Is that what you said?
Yeah,
Pushing a vision?
birthing
Okay.
vision. I said
Um.
pushing, birthing vision.
Oh. um. Well, when you were talking, I was thinking about, well, what you're saying, like pushing, basically pushing through, and how I say, like, your life is not over just because you have a child and things like that. And I was just reminiscing, well, not because it wasn't that long ago, like acclimating to having two kids, acclimating to having two kids opposed to one. Because when I started mommage, I only had the one, and she, she was turning 5. I don't know, it was just different. Now I have two. I don't know if it's because I'm older, and now I'm like, no, for real, how am I supposed to do mommage now? And now I'm a wife. So how I'm supposed to do all the things that I want to do with mommage, be a wife, be a mother to two kids, find a long time, find a time for myself. So I ain't gonna lie, I've been barely pushing through, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know how I'm doing it. I don't know. I just think, you realize what it is that you want to do, and maybe it's finding a plan, but stick to it. You know what I mean? Like um I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but I was like, if I had to get a job, it was going to be on my terms. And just like sticking to whatever it is, whatever your vision is for yourself, for your family, whatever your goals is sticking to that, and making it work on your terms. So that's
Yeah.
how I'm pushing through for today. It, I'm just pushing through one day, 1 minute, one moment at a time. I don't know. Like I texted you
Yeah.
earlier. At this point, I'm just winging this mom shit because I ain't no guide. Like I just, whoo, the stuff that I want to do versus what's going on in my world and with my kids. It's just, woo. That's all I got. Woo.
Right. Right. And it's so true. Like I think about, okay, so with everything that has been going on in my life, this transit, because it's really been like a year of transition and all of that, and I literally had to get to a point where I think this month in June, it was just like the word that I had to have for myself was basically what you're saying, like just do, like you just gonna have to do, like you just gonna have to do it, because otherwise you're you're gonna it's always going to be more stuff popping up, like, or it's always going to be something else that takes that priority that you just have to just go for it and just do it, in the moment. And then being able to say no, like when like it's not the time for it. Or I think, because I got asked this question yesterday, was like, who you in competition with? Because it was
Yes, sir.
because I unenrolled. Right, right. No, that was my answer. But it was, I unenrolled from school
Uh-huh.
yesterday. And I was like, but they told me the only reason why I was okay with it was because they told me I have up until a year to re-enroll, and I'll just within that year span, I could just come back and just knock out what I have left. Now,
Mhm.
right now is not feasible because it's just I'm too much in a transition to be adding on some more stuff, right?
Mhm.
And so I was like, okay, cool, that works. So when I was talking to the person on the phone with my boyfriend, I was talking to him on the phone, and I'm telling him like, so January 1st, I'm back in school, da 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 da. And he was like, okay, so who you in competition with? And I'm like, I'm with myself, like I'm in competition with myself. So he was like, so like, why are you in a rush? Like, like why are you rushing yourself to,
Mhm.
do this or whatever. And I was like, well, I had to think about it. I was like, well, I don't know if I'm rushing myself, but it is like I don't want to keep pushing it off that it doesn't happen. And he was like, okay, I
Mhm.
can see that part. Like, so it's like all the things, especially for like you and me, like we are like visionaries. Like we think
Mhm.
of stuff is going on, everything. Like it's really like just finding like the right time to do it. Like when it came for us to do is the meetup, all we knew, like I think you really like heed to when I said we're going to launch in 2022. Like, like it was just like, okay, originally, I said we're gonna launch in January of 2022. Stuff happened, but at the end of the
Mhm.
day, like I don't care what was about to happen. At the end of the day, we're going to launch. Like
Mhm.
it's just because this is something that we're sit here to do. And it only makes sense. Like have the type of visions that we have to help, and is power in numbers. So for us to join forces, we don't want to keep pushing this off. Now we birthed it. Now it's just time for us to nurture it the way that it's supposed to be nurtured, and we find the
Mhm.
time. And it's not like, I think because how the society is now, it feels like we supposed to have 1,000 views the first episode, or we supposed to hit 1 million,
Mhm.
in our first year. And it's like, no, we're building. Like this literally is a building. Like we're literally nursing. We're like we
Mhm.
bottle feet in the meat right now. Like we birthed it. Now we giving it a shot. We ain't even made it to the point where we putting formula in the what is it, cereal in the bottle. We just right now it's just milk.
Yeah, the baby only 5 weeks old.
Right.
But in
It
that,
can't even be around people right now.
right, in that, right, in being a visionary, in having, our other jobs, our other visions that we're bringing to fruition, and our children and our families. Do you ever feel like you like lose yourself in the process, like of doing and being? Like, do you ever feel like you lose yourself, or you can lose yourself?
I definitely I do. I do. Like today, I was when I was driving, because I told you I was working and driving. Oh Lord, thank you for covering me, because maybe who I got hit by the grace of God. Listen, but like when I was driving and once I made it to the house, I was like, I'm gonna need to shut down soon. And so like I knew like, okay, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm just like going, going, going. I'm gonna have to shut down real soon. And
Mhm.
so and that's kind of like how I deal with self-care, so I can actually rebuild. So I do like a 72-hour shutdown, the way that looks for me. Or however many hours I decide, the longest I've went is like a 72-hour shutdown, where I was shut down from social media, TV, people, all of that. And I just focus on just myself and not doing anything. But sometimes I can just shut down for a weekend, or like remember with y'all, like when I had reached out to y'all and I was like, hey y'all, I'm about to shut down,
Mhm.
and so I could study for my test. Like those are the type of things that I have to do, like personally, I have to do for myself, so that
Mhm.
way I don't lose myself, because it's so easy to get wrapped up in, for me, because my mind goes 101 miles per hour, it's so easy for me to just like keep going, keep going, keep going. And then I get to a point where I'm like literally exhausted and
Right.
I don't have no time for my, like, I have nothing else to give, nothing else to give myself, let
Mm-hmm.
alone anybody. So yeah, I definitely get to those points.
Yeah. So, but well, like, I mean, because you're a visionary, because I feel like I'm like always have ideas, brain always going. But if you like feel like you've lost, well, I guess you could say like after you shut down, you probably come up with more stuff you need to do or want to do. But
Yeah.
like how do you feel like, or how do you see or view like giving birth to your visions or pushing through to your
Yeah.
visions? Like, how do you view that?
So I literally have to write them down.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I have to write them down. Like in my room, I don't have a TV in my room, but I have a big old vision board in my room. Like, you know, like the canvases, I stick my
Mm-hmm.
ideas and stuff like that on the board. And like for me, I literally get direction from I get direction from God. Like I literally
Mm-hmm.
listen and I sit down. That's why I shut down so I could regroup and see which direction I'm supposed to go. And I get direction from God and I literally try to follow those directions so that way I know which angle to go in. But I have like visions from last year on my vision board that it's just not time for that to birth just yet, if that makes sense. Like, but it's something, you know, up there, and I just work a little bit towards what those look like.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Did I answer that? Like
Yeah.
how I
I just like me
that's how
personally, I write it down, but I don't have like I don't have like a vision board. Like I have a vision board, but you know, your vision board should be updated like often.
mm-hmm.
And my vision board is from around the time I got married. So that was 2020. So I haven't done
Yeah.
it. I haven't done a new one, but like I journal, and like
Mm-hmm.
I have like 5 different journals. I don't know why. And sidebar, I've never finished a journal. Like I never get to the end of a journal. I have 5 different journals, but all of them I just write down like ideas in my journals. That's how I like. I don't know if it's birth my ideas, but that's how I inseminate my ideas.
Right. Right. Yeah.
That's how I inseminate my ideas. And then like whatever I feel like whatever keeps coming back to me is like my purpose, like my thing that I'm supposed to be doing. And
That's
I'm like,
good.
yeah, I feel like I'm like I entrepreneur girl. I feel like I'm an entrepreneur at like heart, or a startup type of person. So everything, like if I'm not starting something or doing something that's outside of like big business, like you know, working for someone else or corporate and stuff like that, I feel so sad. I feel like I need to be doing something. I need to be starting something. Like this is not supposed to be my life. Like I got to do something. But in that, like momish always came back because I'm a mother every day. We're mothers every day. So
Right.
that's how, like I said,
It kind of
uh,
reminds me.
go ahead.
It kind of reminds me of like that. I think it's like a Instagram reel that goes like, stop trying to figure out your content, you are the content. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like like being able to like identify like, okay, of course my purpose will be related to who I am, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
it's like a lot of times we go through the stuff. Like I had to go through struggling as a mom to get to a save mom life, you know. It's like
Mm-hmm.
being able to like, understand, like, it, don't overthink it. Like, it literally is something that,
Yeah.
now granted, you're going to get other stuff that's like out of your scope, right? But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, typically what you're doing is something geared to who you are already, or
Mhm.
what you've been through, or stuff like
Mhm.
that. Being a mom, is just
Yeah.
being able to like hone in on that. Even the stuff that we don't really focus on, like our talents, like the
Mhm.
different, like for us, we both braid hair, or
Mhm.
like just like the stuff that, I mean, I learned how to braid hair because my mom braided hair growing up. Like,
Mhm.
that's why I always had braids in my hair as a kid and in high school because my mom braided hair. So it's like,
Yeah.
that was her profession, and of course, like I learned what she did, and so it was like, okay, I can allow this to bring in some income for me as well. I'm not too high and mighty, to do this. and
Mhm.
and and it's part of it because, like, even even with me, like, being a mom and birthing Save Mom Life, and then birthing this Mom Braids, and I'm braiding people hair, like, it is still a form of like ministry. And it's too, like, some people don't know, like, I can actually pray over them because I'm literally touching their hair. So like, they don't know I'm sitting there probably praying over them, or what that looks like, but it's still part of something that I'm doing for them. Or even like the people that I meet, I spoke at a school this year, and one of the moms, she reached out to me, and I started doing her hair.
Mhm.
And like, this mom is blind,
Oh.
a single mother of two and blind.
Mm.
How? Like, like, people ask me how. No, like, I had to,
Mhm.
baby, she is killing it. Like, like, she is a mom. She's blind and she's getting around. Like, it's just being able to know, like, we could do this. Like, we literally
Mhm.
can do this. We we are queens. We
Mhm.
can conquer anything that we put our minds to. We have the ability to acquire wealth. Like, we're not sitting here to suffer, like, or feel like we just survive. And like, no, we can birth. I mean, we literally, our bodies, God made us women, and our bodies is set up so that way we give birth to things. So like,
Mhm.
it's literally in our DNA, like, it's in our makeup to like give birth to stuff, and
Yeah.
move forward in that.
To
Yeah.
add to that, it's like I felt like for me losing my daughter Dream, like you find purpose in pain also. So like
Yeah.
me talking about like my experience and how my daughter passed away and all of that, like I had a few people reach out to me, um, and I've had somebody reach out to me one time to what to say to their grandchild because their grandchild had just lost their child. So things like that, like
Wow.
and I'm not the only one who like lost a child, but right, a lot of people don't talk about it. So I felt like
Right.
one, I made a promise to my daughter that everybody that I met would know who Dream Ali was, and I I just felt like I found purpose in that, and I felt like maybe part of me losing her was to do that for somebody, even if it's
Yeah.
just one person. And
Right.
that's something that gets me by because baby, like how we talked about, like we just one day at a time, like losing a child, like it's going on 3 years. It's literally 1 minute at a time for me. Like I think about her often,
Come
like
on.
so it's just like yeah, finding trying to find purpose in your hard times too. So how would you say that you
Yeah.
you move forward or keep going in adversity or a hard time for you?
for me, like in the different adversities I had, like my friends will tell you, like, listen, I grieve first. Like I definitely grieve through those things, like whether like, okay, I'll be honest with y'all. My first time ever like get my heart broken was at 36. So like going through what those processes is, or like losing someone, like losing a family member, or like losing my job, like
Mhm.
getting a brand new house and then losing my job. Like I literally grieve first. Like I cry. Like I literally cry. People don't see me cry in person, because naturally, like when stuff happened, I instantly get into like mommy mode, or let's fix it type of mode, or let me nurture you type mode. But like outside of that, like I literally do, I go through a whole grieving process, and then I really start to like build up, like just like I was telling you guys at the beginning of this episode, like, I was going through it. Like I had to kind of shake myself out, like what is really going on right now. And so like when it came to like me losing my job, getting a brand new house, and then 17 days later finding out I ain't got no job, like.
Mhm.
So like when it came into that, like I started to rethink how I saw that situation. So I realized, like, okay, I was at that job for 4 years. That sounds like a
Mhm.
graduation to me. Like my friends will tell you, like I literally hosted a graduation at my house to celebrate the past 4 years and what I accomplished while I was at that job and what came from that. Like that's how I try to, like, even when it came from, you know, uh heartbreak and going through, like, like I grieved, I cried, you know, woke up crying, I did all of that. And then
Mhm.
I get to a point where I'm like, okay, you're going to be okay. Like, no matter
Right.
how this situation turns out, you're going to be okay. So now you need to come up with what it's about to look like for you moving on. What next
Mhm.
steps are you supposed to do? And I just start to go into like what those steps look like. And in this case, it was just like me understanding, like, hey, I'm gonna keep moving on. Like I'm not about to shut down for 4 years again. Like, I
Mhm.
have a goal that I want. I'm gonna keep moving forward. And I just start building myself up, and I started talking about it more. The more I talked about it, the better I started to feel. But the more I talked about it, to be honest, the more I started recognizing, like, okay, this don't add up. Like this did that. Girl, what's going on? And it helped me out with that. Like when I tell y'all, in 2016, I lost my uncle, and my uncle was like at every life experience I feel like that I spent. Like when I went to study abroad, he was the one who brought my mom and me to the airport. When I every graduation, he was there. He was there for everything. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. We saw him in the hospital right when, like, we literally walked out the hospital and was leaving out the parking lot when he took his last breath, right? But we was with him for the past 2 days prior to, him taking his last breath. And I
Mhm.
remember, like, in a moment, like processing, like, okay, what is going on. When I got home, well, I wasn't home yet because I was in Jersey. I was at my brother-in-law's sister's house, and I'm in a room, and I put my girls to sleep, and I ball out crying, right? Like I'm like literally like crying, like right. And then my uncle was super goofy, and I started thinking about him, and like him calling me a heifer or something like that. And like from my tears, I instantly I started laughing, like, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, why am I laughing? So I think that's kind of how I deal with adversity, and like even like losing like friendships and stuff like that. Like I literally have to like, yeah, they're sad in the moment, but then I begin to start seeing like, okay, maybe there's a bigger purpose in this, or maybe it's a good thing, or maybe it's, you know, it's some, I really turn stuff optimistically, if that makes
I'm
sense.
not the
But I
most
mean, I
optimistic person, but I do always feel like you are where you're supposed to be.
right.
And who's there and who's with you, they supposed to be there. If they ain't supposed to be there.
Right.
Period. Period.
Yeah.
Per.
Right. Yep. And I know like people probably watching it like, is she for real? But like that's literally, I think that is how I get through adversity. Like, you know, it'd be hard in a moment. There was a time where I wasn't here. I think that that comes with like my growth, and then like my relationship that I have with God. Like it helped me, because there was a time where I didn't. Like one of my closest friends, I remember her and I getting into it, and she told me, she was like, nobody want to always hear a sad story. Like, but I had to realize, like, I was that friend. Like, I was the friend that every time you talk to me, I had sad news. Like, baby, snap out of that, you know. And I think that helped me. That was some years ago, but it was
I mean,
really
but
like,
wait, rewind. Run that back. But what if you really in a moment or in a season where things like that are happening and you're venting to your friend? Like, you don't mean to be like, oh,
yeah,
this is going on. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't there, so I don't
yeah,
totally get it because you felt
yeah.
that.
No, in a moment, yeah, but it was like, it when she said that to me, it helped me to realize, like, okay, what are you going to do differently to come out of always having a sad story? Like, what steps are you going to take? Like, you know, like
So
this
the sad
everything, because
stories are not happening.
yeah, like in terms, because a lot of the stuff that the sad stories in my case, I brought them on. So like,
Oh,
you know, like
you the
I'm not
creator of the
doing
problem.
stuff now.
Okay, got
I'm crying, right? Yeah, yeah. Like I'm bringing it on. It wasn't like, you know, random stuff happening that out of my control. These things
okay.
I could control, and I'm crying because, baby, when I tell y'all, I like being a mom was like the biggest eye opener for me. Being somebody that was like always on my own, like
Mm-hmm.
did my own thing, made money, blew
Mm-hmm.
money. Like I was not responsible at all. So when I became a mom, like it was like not me having a child was the end of the world. Like everything that happened was the end of the world to me. Like everything was just so dramatic, and why they don't want to help me? And baby, pay your bills. Like, you know, like so you don't want to help me, baby. Get yourself together, Julia. You know, like that was who I was. So like for her to tell me that, that was like really like eye opening, and it helped me to be like, okay, you got to make some steps. Like everybody can't bail you out of this. What you gonna do? Are you about to get a second job? Like how you about to work through this? You know, what steps are you going to take? Because it's not okay to just, you know, what's wrong. Like you know that stuff is not adding up. 1+1 is not 2 for you. You know, so what are
The
you going to
math
do
is
to
not
fix it? So that's
mathing.
right. Right. Yeah, so that's where it was. So that's more so what it was. So
Okay.
yeah. And so I think that going through that helped me to be a lot more optimistic and be able to, and then also being able to understand like who I was, like, and the abilities that I have. Like I don't have to, I don't have to settle for less. You know, I can do whatever I put my mind to, you know, type of thing. But it was growth, because Julia at 23, 24, 25, 26, man, she would have got on your nerves. You would have been sick of her. I promise you.
Prepare to be sick of me. It's
Exactly.
funny, like how this day and age, like we relate everything to like a meme or a reel or a TikTok.
Right. It's so true. You want to go into our 5?
Um, You start.
Or you got okay.
I haven't.
All right. All right, so our five, every episode we come up with 5 tips that we thought will be helpful based off of the topic that we have for tonight. And so our first 5 is number 1, your push is necessary. Just understanding that that thing that you're coming up with, that thing that you keep hearing, that vision that you keep seeing, that idea that you keep thinking about, it's necessary. It's necessary for you to push that thing on through and make it happen. It's needed. The world needs it. Imagine if the I don't want to. I was about to say an inventor, but then I don't want to say the wrong inventor. But any one of the people that invented anything, imagine if they didn't push that vision through. Like, imagine if we didn't have a hot comb, baby. Madam C.J. Walker and her straightening stuff. Like, imagine if she didn't allow that vision to push through. Where would we be today? You know? Where would we be today if she didn't come up with her products?
You see, I'm pushing through with this baby by myself today. So I appreciate you for ignoring her, basically. Right now, she's trying to give her whatever she wants. Whatever. She's just eating. She's been eating cookies, applesauce, juice. She had like 3 juices since we've been on. So I'm pushing through because the push is necessary.
Push. Yes, push, girl, push.
Number 2 is you don't have to do it alone. Like last week, we said you are not on an island by yourself, girl.
Come on.
You can find your tribe. I mean, we're here, but whatever your interests are, basically what you put out there, you receive back. So if you're putting out the energy, like to find your tribe, to be around the people that share your interests, you'll attract those people, and you won't be doing it alone.
Come on. Number 3 is allow your talents to make way for you. We talked about it in the episode, but like, baby, if you could bake a cake, allow that to make a way for you. Allow that to be a means of income. If you are good with meal prepping, listen, call me because I need help. You know, so like allow that to be a way. If you enjoy working out and you went from 10,000 pounds to 100 pounds, like allow that to be a means of income for you, because it's people that's trying to figure out how to get like you, how to do like you. It's people that want your cakes. It's people that need their hair done. It's allow your talents to make a way for you.
And 4, take yourself seriously. I mean, why would somebody else take you seriously if you ain't taking yourself seriously? Be serious about whatever your craft is, about whatever you're trying to bring to fruition. And again, you'll get back what you're putting out there.
Yes. And the last one is practice makes improvement. Perfection versus growth. Perfectionism is literally something that will hold you back, because you'll always feel like it's not right, it's not good enough, you know. So understanding that practice makes improvement. It doesn't make it perfect, but you get to a place where you can actually grow and manifest that thing to where it needs to be.
You remember Mr. Curtin telling us practice makes permanent? Do you remember that? He used to tell us that, Mr. Curtin.
I didn't know. I don't remember that.
Remember?
But it's true though. Like, the more you practice, the better we get. Like, if you go back and watch our first episode, but baby, watch our 5th episode. We are out here getting better each week. Yep. All right.
So don't forget to follow us. We're on Facebook at It's the Meetup, Instagram at It's the Meetup, and we're on YouTube at It's the Meetup. Excuse 7. Follow us on all 3. We wants to watch Blippi. 1 second. We're on Facebook and YouTube at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then after we finish broadcasting on Facebook, we go right over to Instagram at It's the Meetup. And you can catch us there too. You gotta. Baba, Baba. Here's
All right,
Blippy.
so the last thing we do is we do our virtual cheers every week. And so we want to celebrate you, whatever that celebration is. Understand whether you put it in the comments or you just experienced this week. We just want to let you know that we are clapping for you. We are excited for you. You did it. You killed it. Keep on killing it. And you have us here, Rhea and Julia, at the meetup that will be celebrating you every week.
Yes,
all right,
I made it with this baby by myself. Usually she is not here interrupting. She could be banging on the door. I will not let her in. But my husband's at work and my daughter is booked and busy per usual. My big girl. So
right.
because I'm out here winging it.
Right. It's the meetup in 7. Listen, she's meeting up with us this week. She got special guests this week.
Right.
She got special guests. All right, so that's our show that we have for you guys tonight. But like we said, we're actually leaving here right now and we're heading right on over to Instagram to do our Instagram portion of the show. So for those people that don't have Facebook or don't want to log into YouTube, whatever platform you want to go on, you can see us on it basically. So do you have any final words?
No. See you later. See you next Thursday.
Right. Is it showing?
Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. Bye.
Okay, we're into this broadcast now, y'all.